Stephen A. Smith, to me, yesterday proved absolutely nothing, zero, about the Seattle Seahawks' vulnerability. In fact, I thought in the few moments they actually had the football, their offense looked far more explosive than it looked last year. Okay. They will be much better on offense going forward this year. I did say the Seahawks would lose one game at San Diego, but they would go 15-1. So I'm driving the bandwagon from here on, and it will start, by the way, back again next Sunday in Seattle when the Denver Broncos visit. But I have said that the San Diego Chargers will be a breakthrough team this year, a breakout team, and I'm sticking with my prediction they will win the AFC West by dethroning the Denver Broncos, who look a little shaky. And I think they will look much shakier in Seattle next Sunday afternoon. Phillip Rivers is great at winning this kind of game because we know he gets fired up. He wants to spit in your face if you're going to spit back in his. He wants to jaw with you, trash talk with you, and he's really good at making all the little big plays required to hang on to the football. 10 times Phillip Rivers converted on third down out of 17 tries. 42 minutes and 15 seconds. Phillip Rivers and company with a lot of help from Antonio Gates. He ain't over the hill yet, is he?
Not over the hill.
No, thank you.
That's right.
42 minutes and 15 seconds. They hung on to the ball and forced Seattle's defense to stay on the field in temperatures that reportedly went as high in some points on the field as 118?
Jeez.
Seriously? And you got to play 42 minutes and 15 seconds in that in San Diego when you're not really used to that up in Seattle?
Temperature was listed at 94,
Thank you very much.
but it was about 118 on the field. You're right.
There you go. San Diego's longest gain yesterday, their longest play, was a 21-yard touchdown pass to Antonio Gates that put them up 27-14. Usually it's bombs away in most games. There'll be a couple long runs, couple long passes. 21 yards, their longest play. So Seattle wasn't exposed. Richard Sherman wasn't exposed, except if you put quicker receivers on him because he's longer and lankier. It takes him a little while to get unwound a little bit. So, yeah, he has a little trouble if you can get a free release off the line of scrimmage. You can torment him a little bit, but he's right. He gave up 3 little catches. No big explosive plays. But, again, when you have the football for only 17 minutes and 45 seconds, what damage are you going to do on the scoreboard? Not enough. So, big picture, I think that San Diego is much better than they showed when they blew that 17-6 lead in the fourth quarter at Arizona.
Right. And
I think Seattle is actually going to be better than they were last year.
Well, I think Seattle's going to be inspired. There's no question about it because they're devoid of any punks on their roster. They show up. They've got a lot of heart. They've got a lot of guts. They're physical or what have you. And I think that rather than them losing the game yesterday, I think what resonated with me was how they lost. San Diego, an AFC West team, was more physical than the Seattle Seahawks. They went at the Legion of Boom. They said, we're not scared of you by any stretch of the imagination. They were talking trash. They were in their face. They made it a point to send the message that we're not backing down from you, and I think that resonates. Now, Phillip Rivers ended up with a quarterback rating of 124. He was big time yesterday when it counted. Obviously, he connected with Gates on 3 touchdown passes, including that 21-yarder where Gates went up with the left hand and extended his left hand and came down with it flat on his back, held the ball up, let the referee know I got the football. They were balling. They were physical. I saw the Legion of Boom on the sidelines. I saw Cam Chancellor and those boys getting on each other, getting in each other's face, letting them know we're not playing the brand of football that we're capable of playing. So if ever there was a day for your prediction, and you do deserve kudos for this, because if ever there was a day where your prediction, big picture, seemed very, very much on the money, it's this. It's today, because if you're Seattle with the kind of heart they have to lose the way that you lost yesterday, it's just going to make them that much more rough. You understand? They're going to come right at you. I think they'll be even more physical. I think they'll look to impose their will even more. And in most instances, they're not going to be playing in 118-degree weather on the field. So because you don't have that to be worried about when you're on the road in most of the games that you've got coming up this season, I think that's going to bode well for them. But I also think that Pete Carroll dropped the ball on this game. Beast mode. Marshawn Lynch, 6 carries, 6 carries.
He didn't seem real pleased about it either.
Listen, he shouldn't have been real pleased about it. He's Marshawn Lynch. You understand? This dude, I'm talking about in terms of the Seattle Seahawks offense, it rides with him. We could talk about Russell Wilson till the cows come home. It's about beast mode. It's about Marshawn Lynch. He's the Rough Rider. We know what Percy Harvin could do. We know how electric he could be, as he showed in special teams yesterday. We know what Russell Wilson could do in terms of his composure, his leadership, his abilities. Nobody's questioning that. He's a big-time quarterback, and he's a resident champion as we speak. But they are not Marshawn Lynch. And to be in that weather, under those conditions, okay, which are relatively ideal, outside of the heat getting to you, in terms of the field, in terms of the weather, no inclement weather, no rain, no snow, no anything like that, how could you possibly justify not giving Marshawn Lynch the ball more than 6 times? It's inexcusable that that would happen.
I don't know if you noticed, but he exited a little early.
Yes, he did. I noticed. It was dialed down, but it was decided. But he walked right off the field or what have you. And listen, you could call it unsportsmanlike. I didn't go that route. What I was looking at was a dude that, first of all, was clearly disgusted because he lost, but was clearly disgusted at his lack of utilization that Pete Carroll threw his way yesterday.
I'm fine
and I don't
with
blame him. I don't blame him.
Okay. Speaking of lack of utilization, after Percy Harvin fumbled the kickoff, which was a crucial play in that game, a big turnaround play, he disappeared from sight for a while.
Yes, he did.
I don't know if he was dinged up a little bit, if his head was spinning a little bit, or if Pete Carroll just said, you know what?
Yeah, take a break.
I'm just going to keep you over here by me for a while. Then he got the late little, what do they call it, their speed sweep, you know, and San Diego sniffed it out on the first play of the last drive and blew it up. But that was the first sighting of Percy Harvin I'd seen in a couple of quarters, it seemed like.